Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you're having a wonderful day. This is my Surround Light BX. I got a new charger. In the Virginia video that I made not too long ago, I ran out of range halfway to Luke's place, and I had to go get my truck to come pick it up, leave it on the side of the road, stuff like that. It was this whole ordeal. Go watch that video if you haven't already. The reason I had to leave my bike on the side of the road was not because the battery didn't have enough capacity, but it's because the battery didn't have enough time to charge to 100% before we left the theater that we were coming from. That's because my old charger was only able to do about 600 watts of power. Now, technically, my new charger can do up to 4,000 watts, which is just insane to think about. The final and the biggest change to this bike yet is the motor. I finally upgraded the motor after like a freaking year of waiting or something. This is the Shy Gladiator 81 volt Odyssey Pro Plus, I believe. I'll correct myself later if that's not the right name. It is capable of outputting 39 kilowatts. This is the Torp TC1000 controller. It is capable of outputting 50,000 watts. This is the Torp TM40 Pro, which is capable of receiving 50,000 watts. Now this makes the battery here the bottleneck factor in the actual motor output. This battery was very, very expensive. Easily the most expensive single component of this bike. If I were to get a battery that could do 50 kilowatts, it would easily be more expensive than this battery. So now that we got that out of the way, let's ride. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here today in South Carolina. I am a little apprehensive. The reason I'm apprehensive is because yesterday I installed the motor just barely off. So the wall of the motor was like right next to the jack shaft. Suron actually built it so the motor is supposed to be right next to the jack shaft. I'm talking less than a centimeter of clearance. The jack shaft moves and the motor wall doesn't move. And so the jack shaft could very easily start rubbing against the motor wall. So that was exactly what was happening. It was like scraping and making this awful noise and stuff. So I had to take it back apart and adjust it again. Hopefully it's fine now. I'm going to listen for that sound very, very carefully. But hey, for now, we're at 30 miles an hour. It sounds like it's not making that noise. Let's see if we can do a couple pulls. Holy cow, bro. 30 miles an hour. It launches that front wheel up. You see that? As you can see, 48 miles an hour, we hit that accelerator and it brings that front wheel up. I'm almost scared to try to do a power wheelie because I really don't want to loop it. Now I will say, I got these new domino grips. I used to have some generic ones from the motorsports store. These are so much better. They feel so much more grippy. They feel like I'm more connected to the bike and stuff. They feel like it's harder to let go. If you have a bike that does 14 kilowatts and you are used to a certain amount of battery range, the more power you put to your battery and the harder you go your bike and all that, the less range you will have. So like if you just keep doing pulls like I am, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to have no range. Another thing I also am very interested in finding out is what the thermals are like on this motor, because my old one, like I could do like 3 pulls, just go a little bit hard for a second, and then it would be way too hot to keep doing that. Right now, I am going to a road in Mexico where there is no speed limit, and I'm going to see exactly how fast I can get this bike to go. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but these grips are like, they're not really more cushy, but they're not like rock solid. They're still very nice. I just love the fact that they don't slip. I'm going to push it a little bit. I'm going to go like 50 for a bit and see if that makes the motor a little hotter. We are now in the road that does not have a speed limit, so we're going to see exactly how fast it can go. 84 miles an hour max. You saw it here, guys. We got to 5 miles an hour under the max rated speed of the tires on this bike. 84 miles an hour. Even after that, there are no strange sounds coming from the motor, which I'm very happy about. Sport mode is 30 kilowatts. So let's see if that'll give us a speed increase. Oh, sport mode isn't calibrated right. Yeah, sport mode's got like 10 kilowatts or something. Let's check that out. The motor is at 123 degrees Fahrenheit and it's coming down as well. So what I'm going to do, sport is on 6.2 kilowatts. So we're going to take field weakening on. We're going to see if we can get to 90 miles an hour. So I'm a little scared. I have not used field weakening in a while. Here we go. We're rolling in at about 30 miles an hour. Give it a shot. It looks like once again we topped out around 84. I will say we are on 77% battery. Felt like the max amount of revs, but I'm not super sure. Yeah, 84.3 miles an hour max. That was on 80 amps of field weakening. Oh, there's a little dog over there, I think. Is that a dog or a cat? I can't tell. All right, 30 kilowatts, and we hit 84.3 miles an hour max. It looks like, despite having the higher power level and the field weakening enabled, the RPM limit seems to be keeping me around 84 miles an hour, which is still really good. That is still like more than a lot of people will need. I don't think a Stark Varg can go faster than 90. Be like Sir Runster, very, very wise man, adjusting controller settings on the go. Oh, holy Hannah. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, now it's a little less tweaky. Ooh, that's nice. That's like smooth now. If I do that, it doesn't just come up, right? Yeah, I like that. But it'll still like kind of come up I want. That's like almost perfect. Let's take it down a little bit more, see if that's more comfortable. Oh no, I feel like I was hearing a noise just then. I think we're still good? If you're planning on moving to South Carolina, just don't. It is so dark down here. I am also wearing tinted goggles though, so I'm sure that doesn't help. This is like scenic route for me. This is also the first video that I've done recording audio on my Cardo microphone instead of my regular microphone setup. Hopefully it sounds good. I don't know. I haven't listened to it yet, of course, but it definitely sounds a lot better over calls than my other microphone sounds over recordings. There's a video that I'm going to drop around October. That one is going to be pretty big. It actually very likely might be bigger than the Virginia video, but in that video I'm going to be trying to make sure I'm pulling some stops, getting some quality control done. So a lot of variables. I think 2 or 3 bugs just hit my pointer finger in the same spot, which is crazy. All right, after that many pulls, I'm actually kind of impressed about the fact that we're only at 66% right now. I thought we would be at a little less. Torp TC1040 controller has a bunch of safe limits for stock motors and aftermarket motors. And the safe limit for the stock motor, 400 amps. I think it's about 400 or 500 amps of output power. When I installed the TM40 Pro, God, that sunset is so gorgeous. The amperage limit actually went from 500 to 1,000 amps. I was like, holy cow, that is literally double the amount of amps. I was very pleasantly surprised. Yeah, we're on daily mode. Because it's got such a high power limit, I have the throttle aggression pulled down a little bit. So like, if I gun it for a second, it's just gonna lurch forward a little bit. It's not gonna actually dump 25 kilowatts into the motor. And it's a lot better, it's a lot smoother. I like it a lot more. I'll tell you what, this is so much better. I'm going probably an average of like 40 to 45 miles an hour. I would say more like 50 to 45 miles an hour. And there's a fair bit of wind. In a situation like this with my stock motor, I would easily be at about 170 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. But this one's staying cool. It's only at 150. Way back in January 2025, I bought this bike. Now, when I did that, I could go a maximum speed of 40 miles an hour. The big 40. It was like so much faster than I'd ever gone on a pedal bike, because this is my first bike that was not a pedal bike. I remember just like waiting until way late at night to, you know, like to rip the Sur a few times. But I was doing it on the sidewalk, and it just felt so unusual to rip a bike, rip something on the sidewalk at 40 miles an hour. That felt way too fast. And now I'm just like sitting here on this bike that can go 85 and put out like freaking 25 kilowatts on the sidewalk. Just makes you kind of wonder. It's like everything is a matter of perspective. Curiously, my motor is not cooling down very fast. It's still at 140. Holy cow, that sunset is just beautiful. I gotta take a photo. Stop the... Oh, that was a wheelie. And I also think I busted something. The Aura, guys. Lovely, lovely, lovely times. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep it at probably like 30, because this has happened before, and if I go too fast, something could break and it's not gonna be pretty. Oh, this sucks, man. As soon as I try to pop a wheelie, something breaks. Now people are gonna go by, they're gonna think I'm riding my e-bike all slow. Hey, at least we got this gorgeous sunset though, man. Dang, that is so pretty. Sitting on this clapped out bike, but at least we got a beautiful sunset, you know? Just goes to show how life is just all sorts of pros and cons, and it's always going to be like that. You just got to focus on the pros. Alright, with that being said, I am probably going to spend the rest of the night trying to fix this thing up. Hopefully I won't go too late. Last night I went until like 11. I got nearly no sleep. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned because we are going to do a lot more stuff with the bike. Of course, in a future video, I will take you guys on the journey where we bring this thing up to its full potential, 39 kilowatts. But until then, hopefully I'm not just going to be fixing stuff and putting it back together. I just hate that sound so much. Anytime I give it a little bit of throttle, it makes that sound. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned.